àti rí ṣé press statement ni àbí publication àbí kílẹ̀ pé aṣẹ́wó ni Tope Alabi nígbà tó wà ní Ṣàngó Òde lọ́dọ̀ bàbá Ayomiku agbórí ó ń yálé ni alágbèrè obìnrin ni àti gbọ́ ẹlẹ́sẹ̀ òṣì ni fíìmù tí bàbá Ayomiku tó invest lé lórí ìgbésẹ̀ ló gbé bọ̀ ńbẹ̀ kò ṣe kìnnìkan àti gbọ́ àdúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run ẹlẹ́sẹ̀ òṣì ni alágbèrè ni oníranù ni kò ń ṣe obìnrin gidi ẹsẹ̀ òṣì ọ̀hún ó ṣáà ti kó jáde ó gbọ́ ọmọ ọdún kan àbọ̀ kúrò nínú ilé ọkọ àkọ́kọ́ ó ṣáà ti lọ Ọlọ́run ò jẹ́ kó pa bàbá Ayomiku ṣe wá rẹ́sẹ̀ òṣì ọ̀hún ẹsẹ̀ rádaràda ọ̀hún ẹsẹ̀ ìgbèsè ọ̀hún àti ẹsẹ̀ àgbèrè ọ̀hún ló fi lọ fẹ́ pòpù ọkọ ẹ̀ Mr. Alabi ní ìsìn tí ó dẹ̀ sọ máa yẹn dolóríire tó kìkì wá kàn sí àgbèrè ọ̀hún náà nígbà tó délé pòpù kò ṣe é títí di bá ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí ọkọ ẹ̀ náà ló so mọ́ àdúpẹ́ orí burúkú ló kó kúrò lọ́dọ̀ yín oríire ló kó wọlé pòpù ṣe rí gbogbo yẹn kò ká yé past náà tán bá pé màmá Tope Alabi náà kóun wá sọ̀rọ̀ nípa bàbá Ayomiku ó ṣeé ṣe ká mú àdá ká máa fi wá bàbá Ayomiku náà kiri ká la fẹ́ bẹ́ orí ẹ̀ kò sí ẹnìkan náà nínú àwọn ọkọ àtìyàwó tó bá kọ ara wọn tán máa ní kó rojọ́ tí ò ní rojọ́ lọ́nà tó máa favour ẹ̀ ohun tó wà ńlẹ̀ báyìí tí mo fẹ́ ká sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí òun ni àwọn nǹkan tẹ́ ń sọ nípa Ayomiku ìbéèrè mi ni wípé nígbà tí Tope Alabi tó kúrò ní ọ̀dọ̀ bàbá Ayomiku ṣé oṣù tó kúrò náà ló dolówó ló di ọlọ́lá torí mo rántí o interview nígbà tó sì ń ṣe movie ní abẹ́ ìpìlẹ̀ rere ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ò mọ ìgbà tí Tope Alabi ń ṣe movie pẹ̀lú àwọn group kan tán pè ní ìpìlẹ̀ rere ìgbà yẹn náà ni àwọn ọmọ Zion bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní rain ìpìlẹ̀ rere ní group tiwọn tí Tope Alabi ṣe aṣọ opó ìgbà yẹn náà fi kọ Ayomiku lọ́dọ̀ Olúwa kò ì tó ó sì máa pọ̀ ẹ wá bá mi yọ ara mi Ayomiku ó jẹ́ ká mọ̀ wípé òun máa ń yá aṣọ lọ location ní ìgbà yẹn. Do you understand? Ṣé lásìkò yẹn ṣé bàbá Ayomiku ṣé ó tiẹ̀ wá Tope Alabi lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe sọ wípé Àkúrẹ́ náà wà bíi sweet bíi nico bíi cabin biscuit mélòó ni wọ́n gbé lọ fún ọmọ yẹn lọ́jọ́ yẹn nígbà tó wà ní kékeré then ṣé torí pé ó dẹ̀ divorce kò ní right láti marry mọ́ ìgbà tó dẹ̀ marry ǹjẹ́ ẹ wọ́ ọmọ yín lọ nígbà tẹ́ ẹ wọ́ ọmọ yín lọ tẹ́ ẹ claim wípé ó ti dolówó torí tí owó gan ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ dé tí ọlá Tope Alabi bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní dé báyìí ẹ̀yìn ìgbà tí bàbá àrà kú ni àǹtí mama Tope Alabi bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní blow gbogbo ìgbà tó sì kọ ọkọ ọmọ favour lolúwa ṣe fẹ́mi nìkan kò tí ì blow bàbá àrà ò jẹ́ ká gbọ́ Tope Alabi lẹ́yìn ìgbà tí bàbá àrà kú láṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wá divert attention sórí màmá Tope Alabi owó ọ̀ngán dẹ̀ dé báyìí ọlá ọ̀ngán dẹ̀ dé báyìí kò tí ì pé 15 years ẹ sọ wípé wọ́n sọ wípé kán lè mú ọmọ yín lọ ìlú òyìnbó ni wọ́n ṣe change orúkọ ẹ̀ lórí passport èmi rò wípé gẹ́gẹ́ bí bàbá tó ní dignity tó ní integrity ẹni right láti object to it wípé ẹ wà láyé ẹ wà láàyè ẹ lè fáìlì wípé ẹ̀yin àti ìyá ẹ ti divorce ni wípé but you are ready to sign wípé ẹ give consent yín kọ́mọ yín travel then èló lẹ́san nínú owó secondary school àbí nínú interview Ayomiku Nàìjíríà ló ti lọ school kò lọ school nílùú òyìnbó kò lọ primary kò lọ secondary school nílùú òyìnbó kódà kò lọ higher institution nílùú òyìnbó tí ẹ wádìí rárá ẹ̀rọ rẹ̀ kan ẹ̀rẹ́ bí kan tó ṣòwò fún yín pé school tó ń lọ rèé kẹ́ lọ ká mọ́ bẹ̀ lọ lọ́jọ́ PTA lọ kó wá complain fún bàbá màmá ẹ̀ wípé daddy mi ń disturb mi àbí mọ school tó ń lọ náà. Ẹ dáhùn. Èló lẹ san, èló lẹ fi ránṣẹ́. Ẹ lọ wo bank account yín kẹ́ show wa ní evidence. Ọjọ́ wo lẹ ra sweet wá torí pé lówó lọ́wọ́ kò sí change lọ́wọ́ yín. Ọjọ́ wo lẹ ra sweet lọ sí ilé ibẹ̀ tẹ́ ra kábí biscuit tó gbà lọ́wọ́ yín tó jùlù yín láyà tán ní olóṣì oníṣẹ́ ṣé nǹkan tó mọ̀ ń jẹrè. Torí one thing as a father tó o bá tiẹ̀ lówó lọ́wọ́ tó o bá ní nǹkan kan lọ́wọ́ tó o bá lọ wo ọmọ ẹ tó bá jẹ́ biscuit pàmbólámbólà àti kóòkì lòun fún ó normal wọ́n á fojú náà ẹ̀ wọ́n á máa fi ṣe pé ṣé nǹkan tó mọ̀ ń jẹ nìyẹn. But one thing we know is ọmọ yẹn máa fẹ́ràn ẹ inú ẹ̀ á máa dùn wípé dádì mi ń wá á mọ̀ wípé ò ní bàbá kan níbì kan. Tó bá jẹ́ ọjọ́ PTA tó lọ school títí kẹ́ ẹ̀ sọ pé àmọ́ mi ẹ̀ ti wá tó ní ìwọ náà dádì ẹ̀ ò fẹ́ mọ ohun tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ inú ẹ̀ á máa dùn á máa fi hàn àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ pé dádì mi wá tó ra bisikíìtì nígbà tó lá bá dé torí kò sẹ́ni kan tó máa wà ní ojú kan náà fún ọdún 10 ipò àbí nǹkan á yí padà fún rere ní ṣáà ni ó lè má pọ̀ o ṣùgbọ́n á pàpà yí padà. Ọjọ́ tó fún ní 5,000 tó jẹ́ kí ìyẹ́ ẹ̀ mọ̀ tí mọ́mí ẹ̀ bá ní bàbá ò gbọ́dọ̀ sí níbi ìgbéyàwó á ní ẹ má jà ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ fún dádì bí ò bá tiẹ̀ wà níbi ìgbéyàwó á wá mú ọkọ ẹ̀ kí ẹ pé dádì mi ọkọ mi rèé. So ẹ má disturb wa aṣẹ́wó ni ọ̀dọ́kọ ni kìnìkan aṣẹ́wó àtọ̀dọ́kọ àti ẹsẹ̀ òṣì tẹ́lẹ̀ ní àti ìwà tó ní tẹ́ẹ̀ kò ní ló fi ń ṣe rere nílé pope ló fi ń ṣe ìyàwó ló fi di celebrity ló fi di ẹni tí gbogbo wa ń gbọ́ orin ẹ̀. So tẹ́ ẹ bá ní ká má da tẹ́ ẹ bá ní ká má take sides àwa náà àbá sọ fún yín pé bá tiẹ̀ ti má sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ẹ̀ lórí social media bá ti pé ẹbí kìíní ẹbí kejì kẹ́ ẹ lọ yanjú ẹ̀ wípé báwo lọ̀rọ̀ ṣe jẹ́ kó ní kálukú bẹ̀rẹ̀ àwọn. So enough for once àwa obìnrin àti àwọn single mother ń sọ wípé ẹyẹ embarrass obìnrin tó jìyà tó jìṣẹ́ àti ọkùnrin tó bá fẹ́ single mother tó fẹ́ wọn pẹ̀lú ọmọ wọn ẹyẹ embarrass wọn ẹyẹ pè wọ́n lọ́dẹ̀ mọ́ nígbà tó bá tó àsìkò láti jẹun ọmọ kàn lè má mọ̀gbà tó sóúnjẹ kẹ́ ẹ má ṣáàgì kẹ́ ẹ má lọ́ta kẹ́ ẹ má fojú fi èéfín kó oúnjẹ jẹ iná tán kẹ́ ẹ má gbá bọ́bọ̀ kò possible. So gbogbo ẹ̀yin oní publication ẹ̀yin tẹ́ láǹ take side for once ẹ̀yin abímọ máa wò get involved ó lè má pọ̀ ẹ lè má ní rárá ṣùgbọ́n ẹ jẹ́ kí ọmọ pẹ́ ń wá ẹ jẹ́ kí ọmọ yẹn mọ̀ wípé dádì mi kí ẹ kò kàn sówó lọ́wọ́ dádì mi ni ọ̀rọ̀ mi nìyẹn ó lè bú mi o wàhálà àti ẹ obìnrin ò wáyé ìyà obìnrin ò wáyé òfò and men are not even born to get away with everything. There is karma for everything. Let that stick.
On the issue of this Madam Evangelist Tope Alabi, the controversy that came as a result of doing her daughter's wedding without the biological father being present. I related with it and I would like the usual saying, we listen, we don't judge. But it is something that is relatable, that I can relate with. Sometimes, I don't blame some people when they make some personal decisions. And, probably for some reasons best known to them, they decide to do things the way they know would work for them. I like to, sometimes when I want to, have some say over issues or over trading issues, I ensure I can relate. It's something relatable, either personal or something that I have seen. This is personal now. My mom single-handedly raised the 4 of us. And then at some point, my dad said this as a matter of fact, that she should do it. It's not like I'm trying to support anybody or any of my parents. I'm grown to an extent that I understand a lot that went down, and then I would not judge anybody, and I will not choose or take sides. I won't take sides. Now, my dad did all of that. We were just two girls from my mom. Two girls, we have boys too, but two girls from my mom. He has a girl from another woman. So I think I was 25, 26 then, because I'm in my 30s now. He would call my mom and say, "Show Omo Oti wálé ni, kíní kan." My mom would call us and be like, can you imagine? Even when my mom felt then that we were not yet, she wanted us to be okay before we finally get set to get married. My dad would trouble her. To cut the long story short, because I want to tell you why some people choose to do things that they do. And it is not for us to judge them. We are not to judge them. So my younger sister got married, and I think my dad thought my mom must have taken so much. You can see the kind of thinking in his head that my dad thought my mom must have taken so much from the guy in question. And then my sister is somebody that has her own. Prior to her traditional wedding, I even called her sis. She's my younger sister though. How are we going about your traditional wedding and everything? She was like, no, she had it under control. Even my younger sister, did not even carry us along. Like, she felt she needs to handle it. She's somebody, you don't have one, she understand. So she wanted to handle everything on her own. My mom too would call her. Okay, how is it going at your own end? Now, she now called my dad. My younger sister called my dad and told him, don't worry, for the food and everything, I'm going to get everything to your end. Don't worry, I've got people to handle that. I've got caterers. My dad's expectation was that she be traditional wedding. You come out sick, come on, go joke. Meanwhile, my sister, has had it the way she wants to handle it. Now, to cut the long story short, because I don't want to stay too long on this video, my dad had to start fighting my mom for whatever decision my sister took then, which even my mom self cannot, my sister is grown, so she feels she cannot enforce her own. My daddy doesn't believe that a parent shouldn't enforce his or her own will on their children. He feels, meanwhile, my mommy understands how, she understands being liberal, she understands that everybody has the freedom to do whatever it is they want to do, but the only thing is to just check and see to it that okay, just be careful, ensure you don't make mistakes and what have you. On my sister's traditional wedding day, my dad made a lot of dramas. You can imagine the day that was supposed to be a day of joy for my younger sister. A lot of things I cannot be saying. So people try to avoid some things, knowing, yes, a lot of people might say, I'm wrong. But I will not blame Tope Alabi for whatever decisions her daughter makes about her life. When my sister finally did her wedding, she didn't call my dad. She could not get over all the things my dad did that day. My dad would not allow the Alaga to talk. He would say, hey, you people are supposed to introduce me. You are supposed to ask for my biography. In fact, a lot of things I cannot be saying. I left even before the whole thing ended. In fact, it was chaotic. It was total drama. That is one out of many reasons anyone would choose that, no, this is the way I want to do my things. That does not mean that my sister will not do the needful. But my dad sees his female girls like a business kind of thing, that he feels that's the way he can get money from. And we all try to ignore the fact that we were single-handedly raised by a mother. Yes, she's got her flaws, plenty of her flaws. Plenty of her flaws. In fact, in most cases, I tell people they are both toxic. But then I just want to, talk about reasons why some people will make some decisions and be like, no, this is how I want it. Probably for their sanity. You don't know a lot that have gone down. Yes, that person, that man is Ayomiku's father. And then she chose somebody else or someone else to stand in as a father for reasons best known to her. I am not her. I wasn't in her shoes. I am not one to judge her. But I am saying this because of some personal experiences I have had, that for some reasons or the other, we choose to want to do things the way that best suits her sanity. That is why I will not blame Ayomiku Alabi, Tope Alabi's daughter. I will not blame her. I will not blame her. I know a lot of dramas my daddy has decided to put up. Sometimes we don't call him to things because we know what he's going to do. And we are trying to live a sane life, and then we don't want him to bring up dramas and people start seeing us. Look at the way they are. You understand? So that is just my take. Only Laura, Yara Lati go, Laura Lati face. I can say for free, because a lot of people have been saying that Tope Alabi man, of course, because only lower, like I mentioned it now. My mom too is toxic as well. I know the things, but in terms of some things, I know where I will stand firm behind her. And I know where to stand firm behind my dad. I am not biased. That is one thing about me. I am never biased. But then once I see the good thing, I would say. Once I realize you're doing it bad, I would say. So I am not one to judge anybody now, but just to say that we all have reasons, motives behind every actions. Though at some point we just have to curtail some of our excesses too, so that we don't overdo it. That is what I would say. Thank you.